In today's video, I want to talk about how close we are to an altcoin season, what we should expect during the remaining months of this bull market, and finally, I will give you two altcoins that are currently the best risk-reward altcoins you can get in this market. Please remember that nothing I ever say is financial advice. So over the last couple of videos, I talked about the fact that Bitcoin needs to continue pumping in order for us to sustain the altcoin rally we are currently seeing. This is exactly what did not happen during this May all-time high, as Bitcoin only poked its head over the previous all-time high and Ethereum was still underperforming, leading to altcoins continuing to bleed. This time around, things are looking very different. We've had Bitcoin continuing to put in new highs while Ethereum is also pumping. And as we expected, altcoins are therefore in an uptrend. Remember, even though we've seen some pullback over the last couple of days, these types of corrections are to be expected. If we take a look at the December rally, we also saw around a 17% correction before we kept on going. The important thing is that the sentiment is starting to come back. You've probably noticed this as well. Down here, I know for a fact that many market participants just completely left the market just by assessing my own and other YouTubers' engagement. It still feels like the market hasn't really started to set those bullish targets yet. So right now the expectations are mildly conservative, at least for altcoins, which from a sentiment perspective indicates we still have a long way to go. What's even more bullish is that the people who are here now are people who came into this space earlier, either in this cycle or previous cycles. Take a look at this poll. This actually shocked me. Among the people that are actively watching my channel today, majority of people actually got introduced to crypto in 2022 or earlier. 2023 saw a pretty small influx of people. I guarantee you most of these were in the later stages of 2023 as we started to pump, because that's normally when people enter the space. Then a substantial amount came in during 2024, either doing Q1, Q2 pump here, or the Q4 pump during the November-December rally. And then finally, a tiny percentage came into this market in 2025. The fact that so few people came into this market after the explosive Bitcoin pump we've seen just goes to show that new retail just simply are not here. We're already halfway through 2025, so these people could have gotten in January. And yet, we've seen Bitcoin go on a rally, ETH go on a rally, and altcoins in general have also started to pump. I want you all to imagine what happens when that new wave of people arrive. You'll see candles you didn't think was possible, like for instance last cycle when Dogecoin, which at the time even was $1 billion meme coin, managed to clear multiple X's in only a couple of days. I'm going to make showing the majority of my portfolio an essential segment to every other video so that you can be up to date on what my biggest holdings are and my dry powder status as we progress through the later stages of this bull market. I am one of the few altcoin YouTubers who have been an advocate for holding a large portion of stables throughout the entire cycle, no matter what happens. I will never be one of those guys that are saying to deploy pretty much everything when things are bullish, then magically have 30% dry powder to buy the dip when we're bearish. You know who I'm talking about. I feel like you deserve this transparency. So my three biggest holdings are still Ethereum, Solana, and stablecoins. Both my Ethereum and Solana averages are very good, which is why my portfolio is doing well right now. Last video, I talked about Solana being undervalued at $164, which was a pretty bold claim, but makes a lot of sense if you think about all the drama that has been surrounding the blockchain that really has no relevancy to the chain itself. The biggest changes to this portfolio right now is that I've been increasing a lot of the mid and lower cap positions, as I believe we're due for a pretty significant altcoin rally. Now I'm going to admit something. As this cycle progressed, there was a part of me that thought that liquidity rotation wouldn't be as easy to interpret as it has been over the previous cycles. I thought the market would have to include more variables in order to throw a curveball at the increasingly competent market participants. As I showed you, a huge majority of the people here have been in crypto for at least 1 year. And although it has been a more bumpy road along the way, even making big influencers panic selling Ethereum at the lows, things haven't really changed. Bitcoin went first, now it's Ethereum season, and we are without a doubt going to see an alt rally here very soon. Taking this liquidity rotation into account, my plan has always been to rotate from Ethereum and Solana to these lower caps, and this rotation is going on as we speak. And every time I mention this, there's always someone that somehow, I don't know what they're looking at, but they've come to the conclusion that everything pumps at once. And for some reason, they can't tell that Ethereum has significantly been outperforming most of the altcoin market right now, and especially the lower caps. So I've been rotating out of ETH and bought a bunch of big, mid, and lower caps that I think will do well. I will be rotating a lot over these next couple of months, not only from Ethereum and Solana, but also low cap gems from narrative to narrative. So if you want to be a part of a Discord that actually has experience with this, then check out the link in the description. As my prediction that I laid out in June, what will eventually happen is that all of this liquidity eventually will trickle down to other altcoins, and that this will just take a bit more time. This can also align very well with the fact that we're most likely due for rate cuts throughout this next couple of months. So what I can see happening is something like this, a decent pump led by Ethereum throughout July and August before seeing a correction around September time for then us to put in a final rally throughout Q4. Now, I cannot stress this enough. During this next rally here, you need to be taking profit. It seems like 95% of the people watching got to experience the December rally. If you did not take profits during December, it was probably because someone convinced you that we were going higher. Luckily for you, that December rally now serves as a pretty valuable lesson and is going to make you more aware of profit taking during this upcoming rally. So that's just the way you have to look at it. And even now, I see respected influencers calling for 10 to 15K Ethereum. While there is a scenario where this target is hit, whether it be this cycle or upcoming cycles, I have to keep it real on this channel. I am out of Ethereum way before 7K. You just have to trust me when I say this. You would much rather take smaller profits than nothing at all. And who knows, although I wouldn't necessarily bet on this, but maybe we get an extended cycle, which allows for you to buy in a lot cheaper with your profits. I will be 100% honest when I am in the process of exiting the market. So make sure to subscribe to not miss that crucial video. Okay, so finally, let's look at the altcoins. First coin I would like to mention is Miggles. Give me 2 minutes and I will explain why I think Miggles can be the best performing base meme coin and make you life-changing money this cycle. As you know, I am a criteria for what makes a good meme coin that is going to make you a lot of money, and Miggles checks all of these boxes. It has proven to stand the test of time, meaning that after this November pump we had back here, it didn't die off like a lot of other meme coins. It has held on to both its social engagement and its volume. It's timeless, meaning that this isn't just some meme coin from an animal rescue or a trend that will fade. And finally, it has centralized exchange listings. But this final point here is crucial and something to really pay attention to, because many of these mid and low cap based meme coins do in fact have Coinbase listings. Currently, Miggles do not have it. And I'm going to explain the trade-off between these base meme coins that have Coinbase listings as opposed to the ones that do not have it. A Coinbase listing for base meme coins is the most realistic catalyst that will serve as not only an initial pump in the right market context, but serves as a benchmark for future performance, meaning that you would both expect stability and quick recoveries. A perfect example of this is Toshi. When Toshi got its Coinbase listing, it did really well. We did see a steep correction, but it held a higher floor than what it did pre-listing, and it has recovered very well recently when the market turned green again. This is, in my opinion, what you should expect from a Coinbase listing. Big initial pump, holding a higher floor than pre-listing, and then recover. When Coinbase listed Dog and Me and Keyboard Cat, they saw a good pump, they held an okay floor. But here's the thing. If you take a look at Miggles and its performance relative to these two, taking into account that Miggles does not in fact have the Coinbase listing that should facilitate stability and recovery, is performing really well. So on the one hand, you have a tiny bit more stability from these two, given that they already have a Coinbase listing and a potential steeper recovery once retail is really here. But on the other side, you have already experienced the catalyst pump from the Coinbase listing, a Coinbase listing that Miggles stand to get. And out of all the base meme coin plays right now, especially in the same market cap bracket, there is no doubt in my mind that Miggles is going to be one of the next meme coins that will be getting a Coinbase listing. Taking all of this into account, I deem Miggles as the best risk-reward meme coin play you could possibly have on the base ecosystem. The other altcoin I want to talk about is Say. I think there's a lot of reasons why Say will stand to go on a rally similar to what we've seen from Sui. It has that novelty, it has 50% of the supply staked, it has the right institutional involvement, it has one of the most impressive TVL growths in the entire space, and is making the right connections outside of crypto as well. I also think, perhaps more importantly, purely from a chart perspective, that paying attention to the ones that bounce the hardest from this April low and manage to hold key levels are the best indicators you can have for future performance. Back here, when we timed the bottom perfectly for Say in the Discord, Say is now up at 2x. If you compare this performance to other coins from the layer 1 narrative, you'll find that Say stands out as one of the best performers. And this bounce right here and holding key support areas is the best argument you can have for continued upside. In my opinion, this counts for way more than other quantifiable metrics, even though Say scores high on those as well. Do not be afraid to invest in winners this cycle because they will keep on winning. If Say were to go on a similar rally to what we saw with Sui, you're essentially looking at more or less a 7x from today's price. And keep in mind, this 7x isn't just a 7x, but can be rotated into another high conviction play, further multiplying your gains. If you want to see the altcoins that I think will be the best performing ones during this next rally, then check out the Discord. Don't risk doing this stuff alone. This is a hard cycle, and waiting another 4 years to have the same opportunity is going to be dreadful. We also share a lot of meme coins. Earlier this month, Doge was shared in the group at 600k market cap, which did a 130x, which a lot of the members got into. I also just bought a very low cap meme that I think has the potential of doing a 50x, so make sure to not miss these. Looking forward to see you there. Take care and stay safe.